So yes, I'm Emilie Giles. I'm a creative producer. First of all, I'd just like to thank the organisers of this TEDx event for inviting me to speak today. Being an alumnus of University of Westminster, it's a real pleasure to be here, and it's a great thrill to be talking at a TEDx. So today, I'm going to be talking to you about MzTEK. We are an arts and technology education initiative which aims to get more women practicing within arts and technology. So first of all, I'd like to start with a statistic. So only 24% of the jobs within the technology fields are held by women. Now, this is slightly worrying, and this disproportion of men to women isn't only just seen within a professional context, it can also be seen within more hobbyist sort of cultural contexts as well. Now, over the last few years, the whole culture of making and hacking has become very, very popular across a lot of cities across the globe. So you can see maker spaces, hacker spaces springing up in places. Now, in these spaces, people will be working on projects to do with code. They'll be using 3D printers, laser cutters to create things. But one issue with it is there aren't always very many women in them. And even if there are women, like a lot of them, are there because of other people, and sometimes there aren't even any women there at all. So, MzTEK aims to address this imbalance. We're a non-profit art and technology collective, and as mentioned, we aim to empower women. We aim to get them to pick up these skills so they can go and practice within these fields and go into these spaces and basically do what the guys can do. So becoming more confident and not getting someone to do things for them. We also aim to provide a platform for networking, for debate, to create more exposure for women, and just hopefully getting them more confident and going along these paths. So, MzTEK was set up in 2009 by two women who were studying on a course within arts and technology, and they felt dissatisfied with it. They wanted to direct their learning more themselves, and they wanted to be able to meet people who they could learn skills off. Now, why did they set up MzTEK specifically for women? So, we think it's important to create learning opportunities for women which are specifically targeted at them, so that a community can be built where women's ideas can shine and where they'll be accessed. We want to disprove any gender stereotypes or prejudices that perhaps women aren't as good at technology, aren't as interested in technology as men might be. And we also want to get women more confident within the field of arts and technology so that their ideas can spread into the fields of technology and science, so they can have the confidence to do this. So what do we do in order to enable this? So we organise techie workshops and peer-to-peer geek outs, which are learning sessions. So we do things such as Arduino classes, so making objects interactive, doing physical computing. We teach various software packages within the area of arts technology. We teach workshops in wearable technology, so getting women to make soft circuits, so learning the basic of electronics, but using things such as conductive thread, conductive material. And with the peer-to-peer learning sessions, these are really valuable. They're very empowering. It means that people can come along, they can share the knowledge that they currently have with other women. If they're working on a project and perhaps they're a bit stuck on something, they can come, find someone to collaborate with, and get the ideas flowing. So these are really, really important. So we also run exhibitions and events. So we've held these at the Barbican for their weekender events. We did a big exhibition at the V&A last year called TEDx, which I'm going to talk to you a little bit about in more detail shortly. And we've also partaken in festivals such as Future Everything in Manchester, which is a big digital arts festival. So we've also done seminars and talks. We programmed a series of seminars and talks. So we did one a couple of years ago called MzTEK Unplugged, which is where we invited people that were really respected in the field to come and talk about their work. So we had presentations by artists, hackers, tinkerers, curators, to come and do an informal talk down the pub. so that the audience members could ask any questions sort of like over a pint, so you could get a real dialogue going between people. So we had artists such as Julie Freeman, Sarah Anglis talk about their work. We had Ellie Carpenter, who is a curator and academic at Goldsmiths. And we also had Ruth Catlow from Furtherfield, which is a digital arts gallery based in North London. So, TEDx. So, TEDx has been our biggest project so far. This is a project where it was an Art Council's funded project, and we commissioned 20 female artists to hack teapots. So quite a specific brief, but they were all extremely inventive in what they came up with. They're all very, very different. Some of the teapots celebrated the rituals of tea drinking, some of them rejected them. And the idea of TEDx was essentially to make technology more accessible to a wider public. So, as I said, we held it at the V&A. So it took place as a 3-month showcase in their Sackler Centre, where the teapots were on display. And we also took part in their Digital Design Weekend, which was part of the London Design Festival 2011. And this took the form of an expo. So members of the public could come, they could talk to the artists about their work, which was right in front of them, and they could interact with it. So you could get really nice conversations going in quite an informal way, just to make people see that technology isn't always that scary. And it was great. You know, we had so many women coming along, so many female artists who wanted to learn to do this stuff, and now there was a way forward for them. So I'm going to show you a video in a few minutes about TEDx, but first of all, I want to just take you through a few of the pieces which were part of the show. So this is a piece by Rain Ashford called Teapotty. When you move the little teacup around the teapot, it follows it, and it plays something like the Tetley Tea theme tune. This is another piece by Tine Beck called Light Pot. So this is a beautiful glass teapot with optical fibre wires sticking out of it. And what it does is it changes colour when you text it. So it's very, very playful in the way it works. This piece, Tea Flock by Julie Freeman, the little teapots flock, very much like the flocking motion of birds. And it explores the idea of the migration of the social rituals of tea and how they've migrated across the globe over the years. And this piece is called Raging Roger. It's by Katrin Baumgarten. And what it does is the teapot turns around on its platform, and it uses a sensor which tracks you. So if you stand in front of it, you get spat with tea, basically. So going to move on to the video now, which tells you a bit more about TEDx.
To be asked to take part in MzTEK, and I think it's lovely that we're all getting together because we're all doing stuff and we all sort of know each other sort of through different networks and things, and it's lovely to get sort of critical mass of us here today and say, look, there's all these female techie artists out there, and I know that it's had an impact because I know that people have been coming along and asking what is MzTEK about, and like artists, that was the nicest thing. We had a few sculptors and things coming along, women who said, oh, I want to animate my sculpture, and then be able to point them to the table on the right and say, oh, we'll sign up there for a workshop. And, you know, even if you've never even put, 5 volts across a motor before, you can come to one of these workshops and you can start to do stuff. So that's lovely, yeah, and I like the sort of solidarity of it and the camaraderie of it. And what I love is that I love the diversity of it. It's not like all women make the same kind of art, because actually we've all been given the same starting point, a teapot, and we've all come up with wildly different solutions, and I think that's hilarious. I think there's a lot of wit in them as well, which I like.
Many of it. It's inevitable that I should
So yeah, it's kind of tracks her in. Yeah. And then we've got this, it's called Reactive Business Software.
Okay. Yeah, because I wondered, is this like something projected, this projected map? Okay.
And then all of the sound files are recorded.
Yeah. Okay.
My name is Mika Satomi. I work as a member of Cobacant with Hannah Panna Wilson, and we do a lot of practice with technology and textiles, soft electronics, so on and so on. And my project here is called Suicidal Teapot. It's a teapot that tries to kill itself or break itself. And it's got a lot of self-made solenoids or the magnet coil on the teapot, which is bound together with a crochet. And the nail is trying to hit it, nail is hitting itself until it breaks. And all the circuits are embroidered on the tablecloth part. So I tried to make it such that you can still drink a tea and until the final moment. Yeah.
It was actually a lot of fun. I didn't expect it to be so funny because people would play with it, or people were actually quite often super surprised that it would spit, so they would read next to it, and then were surprised by the fact that they suddenly got wet from a teapot.
I'm Artemis. I'm an interaction designer and architect. You can talk to the teapot, you can record a short message, and then it plays it back. So instead of me speaking to you, teapot will speak to you instead.
So instead of me speaking to you, the teapot will speak to you instead.
My name is Tina Beck, and I made the light pot. And it's a light teapot that you can text. If you text a colour, then it will change colour. So it has an interactive face that is distant.
It's called On the Difficulty of Serving Tea, and it's a little playful take on the art of skillfully not spilling tea when you're trying to serve it.
And tea is not about making things easier or faster, it's about the ritual, it's about taking time. And we were playing around with different kinds of tea, and we thought, well, why don't we make it more difficult and choose the most difficult type of tea? We tried the Moroccan mint tea and trying to serve it properly, going very high, and it was certainly the most difficult one.
A little homage to that art and tradition. It was also thinking about technology and how to work around that idea and embedding technology that wouldn't necessarily be electronic, but more focusing on the participative and interactive aspect that often technology brings, and thinking about doing something a bit low-tech, but that yet would still speak a little bit to the language of the kind of work that's being done and researched with hacking teapots.
That's my rock and roll set. I think the idea of joining a women's exhibition is very exciting for me, still, always. And I was very touched by the initiative of MzTEK, even maybe 3 years ago. DIY hands-on is always great. And so when you invited me, I really think it's a great opportunity to kind of connect with a lot of women in this field.
As a female artist who works heavily with technology, I'm always really interested in what other women are doing in the whole technology world. And I wanted to be involved because, for me, I think it's important that women support each other in a way that is open and responsive and supportive, as opposed to feeling like we're working with technology and often we're up against a lot of other male artists who are working in that world. So this is a great way to network together, and also a great way to demonstrate that we can, we're capable of, heavy duty technology work without having to get other people to do it for us.
So that was TEDx. That particular digital design weekend put on by the V&A has been their most successful yet, with over 7,000 visitors. So we were extremely pleased to be part of that. And through it, we really hope that we've inspired some women to go and pick up the skills in order to implement technology within their work. So If you've been inspired today and would like to come and use more technology within your work, if you're a female artist, then please do get in touch. If you'd like to collaborate with us or feel like you know someone that might want to, then you can email us, follow us on Twitter. So yes, thank you very much.